What's good, YouTube? This video is going to be about how to get a guy's respect back. Please go register for the live event on August 28th. Those who register will get a free ebook, a free membership to my dating course, access to my private Facebook community, and even an individual phone call to go over their question in more depth. They will also be added to a list of people who could potentially receive an advanced copy of my book for review. I'm almost done with it. It should be coming out in the coming months. Also, go subscribe to my new podcast if you haven't. Hick talks everything. We talk about hot topics. We do reactions. We talk about life and give life advice. It's a little bit of everything on that podcast for everybody, men and women, so please go check it out. With that said, on to this topic. Women often ask me how to get a guy's respect back. They're in a situation where a guy is disrespecting them or a guy's treating them in a way that they just don't like. And it's usually pretty rough. And so they ask me, well, I really like this guy. I really want this to work. How do I get his respect back? I'm going to be honest. I hate this question. I hate this question because you should never have to do anything that extreme to get people to respect you. It doesn't make any sense for a guy to abuse you or to mistreat you. And instead of requiring him to improve himself, you try to improve yourself. You can't change for him. If he's the one with the problem, he's the one that needs to find the solution. Oftentimes, these guys don't believe they have a problem. You do, obviously, because you're on the other end of abusive treatment. If a guy is disrespecting you on a regular basis, the responsibility isn't yours to change. The responsibility is yours to leave. Of course, most of the time, that's not an option for people mentally because they're so enthralled with the idea of getting this guy that they like so much. The problem is they're in love with the fantasy of that guy, with the potential that guy has if he were to only treat her well, if he were to only respect her, if he were to only love her. But that's not the case because that guy's not in conflict with himself about how he treats you. That guy doesn't register any of the things that you've registered or fantasized about in the same way. You can't change a person. You can only change yourself. So how to get a guy's respect back is a question I kind of hate. Please keep sending them because I like to tell you personally. But I almost never meet a person who has that question, who's also empowered, who also has a great self-concept, high self-esteem, right? Who also feels good about who she is. It's women who may have had that experience or that relationship with themselves before, but in meeting this guy, now they feel low, now they feel incapable, now they feel less worthy. This guy has actually leveraged his power over them to put them down and to minimize them. They're begging for respect at this point because great treatment seems like too much to ask. If you have to manipulate a person to treat you the way you deserve to be treated, or if you have to change yourself, or if you have to go to a dating coach to figure out how to get a person to treat you like a human, how to care about your feelings or your opinions, how to respect you, then you're better off just leaving to begin with. There are certain things that I'm capable of and certain things I'm not. Certain things I have the propensity to do and certain things I do not. I'm not going to disrespect my wife. I'm not going to disrespect a woman I'm dating. I'm not going to disrespect a person I care about. If I have the propensity to do that, if I'm abusive to a woman, if I'm abusive to a family member, if I'm wicked or evil in the way I deal with someone, whatever they decide to do to themselves to make me be a better person will be for nothing. If a person is capable of mistreating you, take that as the information you need to gather to move on. Women often take the blame for everything that's being done to them, so they seek advice about how to do better. And while yes, we should be making improvements and we should be improving and evolving, when someone's mistreating us, it's not our job to figure that out. It's our job to get out of there. It's our job to let them know that we don't accept this from them and create distance to manage respect. If you want to know more about creating distance to manage respect, go check out my podcast, Hick Talks Everything. There's a podcast on it up right now. It's called Go Where You Are Celebrated, Not Tolerated. If someone would treat you poorly under any circumstances, they will not lose that ability, capability, or propensity to do that just because you changed or you've made some improvements. The problem is their behavior, their treatment, their mindset, not yours. You can't change people for them. If they don't see a problem with how they treat you, then there's no problem. We've all heard that saying, it's not a problem until it's my problem. If I'm the abuser, there's no problem. Deal with people whose first instinct and first nature is to treat you with respect. If you're not respecting yourself, their nature is to correct you for not respecting yourself. It's not to dwindle the way they deal with people down to the most elementary form and disrespect you because you're disrespecting yourself. Too many people do that. Too many people say, oh, well, she wasn't respecting herself. I've seen men do ridiculous, horrible things to women and then say, well, she wasn't respecting herself. It ain't none of your damn business if a woman respects yourself or if a man's respecting himself. If you would misuse or abuse or mistreat somebody, you are the problem. They might have a problem, but you still have a problem. Anyway, I'm ranting now. Follow me at KidFic24 on Instagram.com. I'll get with y'all later.